Yes, we are back, people. We are back. Big up to everyone. Big up. We are back with some news. It's been about a week since we've done a football video. We've been on the Formula One thing. Now the Formula One is wrapped up for another couple of weeks. We're going to talk all about football. The international break is over, which I know you're happy about. But yeah, we're going to talk some footy. We're going to talk some news. And I'm going to bring in my cold cues, my partner in crime, Toto Abba. How's it going, Toto? Big up.
Big up, big up.
Yeah, perfect sound, perfect.
Yeah.
Toto, we are back doing the football thing. I know you're glad. I'm glad. For Formula One, he's done for a couple of weeks. So, you know, it is what it is. We're going to be talking about football. We're going to talk about a lot of news that's been coming on about Isak and also about Konate and also about that stupid geek referee, which is, for me, karma. We're going to talk about that Tuna geezer, the one who's tried to screw Liverpool. There's a lot of news coming about him that he's up for charges for messing with little kids. It is what it is. You know, it is what it is. So, and I hope if he is convicted, that he gets the highest sentence possible. That's if he's convicted and if he is guilty. We don't know if he's guilty yet, but if he's guilty, we'll see what happens. The law will take care of that. But we're going to talk about that later on as well. So, Toto Hammer, how's it going, bro?
Look, it's going well, man. Glad to be back doing a football video. Feeling all well, to be honest. Just been, chilling. Minding my business always, and got to keep an eye on the football news. It's not really been the biggest news, but there's still a lot of news to talk about. There's no transfers going on, but there's still a lot of news to talk about still, which is always good for football video and for you lot in general. But yeah, everything's all good.
Yeah, let me just put a bit of tunes on. It's a bit quiet, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to talk about some... there you go, got some tunes. So we're going to talk about... some stuff, some Konate stuff and that. We can actually start with Konate, but we're going to thank everybody for joining us today, waiting for people to cipher in. Let's go live on TikTok. You know what's weird about TikTok, yeah? What's weird about TikTok is, you know when you do the TikTok thing where you want to go on TikTok and do the multi-stream, innit? And then you apply, innit? I'll get the apply, no problem, innit? I'll get accepted, yeah? Toto. I'll get accepted for the TikTok thing, yeah? And then they let me stream once, and then as soon as I stream, the next day I get a message, you violated our TikTok's rules, so you can't go on for another week. So I wait for a week, yeah? And then when that ban goes, I apply again, innit? I apply again, and guess what? Guess what, Toto? Guess what? I get accepted, and guess what? I stream again, and after the stream, I get another message, you violated our thing, you're banned for another week. Then I have to wait another week, and then apply and get it again. What? I don't know what's going on with TikTok, man. And why they keep banning me and then put me back on again, I just don't understand. But anyway, it is what it is. So, so let's get this on. I'm going to go live on TikTok now. Well, they banned me again. There you go. I didn't even go live. I only went on there once. They banned me again. I didn't even go live. I went on live for 5 seconds and turned off. There you go. It keeps saying that. Couldn't apply because your live access is suspended. Try again in 7 days. I went live for 30 seconds. Is there any way of contacting them?
With TikTok, it's just with the email thing. They never really respond to it. TikTok don't. So I don't really know what to do at that point. Fair, you're not doing anything wrong on YouTube.
Yeah.
So yeah, TikTok's just being TikTok.
I just don't listen. I don't even understand, because at the end of the day, my TikTok was fine just now.
What you can do is
I went live for 5 seconds and quickly turned it off because I thought, the music at the beginning of the stream, maybe it's a copyright thing. So what I did, as soon as I went live, I didn't even play no music. I turned it off. Yeah, I quickly turned it off, and I'm just about to hit the TikTok button again, suspended for another week. I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
Best thing you could do is try to do a studio and OBS at the same time.
Yeah, I ain't got my PC. I know they don't do it on Mac, innit? They ain't got the studio thing on Mac, which is quite annoying. So I know that works. I know what you're saying. It does work for the PC.
I'll do it. Me want to do sim racing.
Yeah, you do that. Yeah,
electric camera.
There must be a glitch with TikTok, innit? Yeah. They let mad people on TikTok. Yeah, crazy people on TikTok, but they can't let me on there. It just does normal stream for YouTube. Yeah, it is what it is. We live in this mad world, innit? So big up to everybody piling in. Got 13 people watching us. I want to thank everybody for joining us this Wednesday evening, September the 10th. So where should we start? Let's start with easy. Let's start with Konate. Yeah, start with Konate. Now, the rumors are, they're not really rumors, it's fact. That Konate has refused another contract. Okay? He wants to go to Real Madrid, and he wants to leave the club. Now, we said at the beginning of this rumor what surfaced during the transfer window, Toto. Me and you discussed this on the channel, and we both discussed this, and we both said, look, he probably wants to go to Real Madrid, innit? Now, what's your thoughts on this now? Now, for me, I reckon that's the reason why we wanted Mark Guay to come in. You get me? Because he wasn't signing the contracts. Now, I got Waniak saying in the chat room, he's saying Konate wants to leave because he knows in January he's getting replaced. No, bro, that's not what it is. That's not what it is. Liverpool are bringing in Mark Guay because they got rid of Kwanzaa. So they need that extra centre-back. They can't really rely on Gomez. Now, if Gomez could stay fit, there wouldn't be an issue. It's because he can't stay fit. And this is why when we got with the Kwanzaa, we're bringing in for Mark Guay. Now, that's the reason why we was linked to Mark Guay. Konate wants to go to Real Madrid. That's just the way it is. He wants to go to Real Madrid. Liverpool's been working behind the scenes for months and months to try and get this contract sorted. We've given him 3 contracts and he's refused them, all of them. He has refused all of the contracts. So this is indicating to me that it doesn't matter what you put on the table, that he wants to leave. Now, that's my thoughts on it. What's your thoughts on it, Toto? You're right, bro.
But the Isak stuff. I think really the Newcastle fans should really try to let it. Of course, they won't let it go.
Newcastle fans are talking about Konate.
I thought he was on about Isak.
No, Konate.
Look, with the Konate situation, like I said, if Konate wants to go, he can leave. We've all said this. I think regarding his contract, he's been offered multiple times from the beginning of the season, and he was also open to another contract offer.
3 contracts we've offered him.
But the thing is, all transfer window we were saying, we might go for another contract. He might stay. You said this before, yeah, he might stay, but stay for another season and go on a free. That's what we've always been saying. That I thought he was going to sign a new contract after he was willing to sign another contract or willing to discuss another contract.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, what you were saying is that he stays for another season and then he goes on a free. And he was always under that free bracket. And we saw the transfer marks and all that bringing up the lineup for free transfers for next year. Konate was still up for a free transfer for next year. So, look, he's a good defender, but he does have his moments. And as a player, you want to assess someone based on what their position is. You don't want to assess them to the tackles or whatever, right? We all know that. You want to assess on what their position is. For a position, he's strong. I say he's quite fast. He can mark his man, which I think he does really, really well.
Very good at that.
Again, the second one, he defends really well. Because you can score goals as a defender, but if you can't defend, I don't really care about the goals. I want you to defend as a defender, right? I want you to do the best you can as a defender. Work rate, defence, aerial battles, and all that. Not necessarily aerial battles, because sometimes you can get smaller centre-backs under 6 feet out there, right? But aerial duels as a centre-back is definitely important, especially if you're a tall centre-back like Van Dijk or something.
Yeah.
I say you're quick, your on the ball ability is very, very important as a centre-back. Long balls, breaking line for the midfield. That's really important as a centre back. You got to assess a centre back like that and centre back attributes. You can't assess a centre back off shooting or nowadays you assess a centre back off pace because sometimes fast centre backs are vital for tracking back. Yeah, on a counter attack, you need that fast centre back to run and run. Van der Ven's a perfect example, but the thing is, Van der Ven, he's very, very injury prone. But onto Konate, he's got the perfect attributes to be a centre back. Yeah, his decision making can be good at sometimes, but sometimes that can be off a bit, and sometimes interception can be off a bit. He can be a bit inconsistent for us, but as a defender, his defending attributes as a player, he's very, very good. He's very, very good at what he does. He's got everything fundamentals to be a defender. So again, Konate, losing him will be a loss for us because he's our defender. He's got all attributes to be a defender for us. He's quick on the ball. His defense is good. Again, goal scoring tally is not really irrelevant to me. You know, the guy could score 0 goals for Liverpool, but he can get like 1,000 interceptions. I'd rather 1,000 interceptions than and then 100 goals as a centre back. Because don't get me wrong, scoring goals as a centre back is a bonus, and you need your centre backs to get you out the rubbish in the corners because centre backs usually tall, strong, usually aerial battle in the corners, right? But what I'm really interested in is your defending ability as a centre back, and Konate definitely good at doing that. But that's basically how you assess Konate. You don't assess him off stats, right? I don't like using stats to assess a player. I like using your eye and actually using good facts to assess a player. Like when you've got say your attributes for an example as a centre, like you say you got Isak for an example, right, as a striker. You assess a striker of scoring goals, work rate, press, but most likely is scoring goals. A winger, you want him to have a good crossing rate, a good pace down the wing, good dribbling ability, maybe assist a few times. That's what you really want from a winger. Right, you don't really want him. You can be skillful, but your main thing is a winger: pace, dribbling, and your crossing into the box and assisting, playmaking. Midfielders, playmaking, playing in tight areas.
I know.
And stuff like that.
Of course.
So, say Isak for an example. We just want him to score goals. We just want a striker to score goals. But look, good things come to an end in the end of the day. Konate done good for us. Don't get me wrong. He's absolutely solid at the back. But if his mind is somewhere else, if his mind is turned by Madrid, we'll have to let him go, just the way it is. There's no backtracking, no trying to keep him there. In the day, football is a short career. There's more and more stars coming up from the making, more centre back stars. Of course, we've just signed a star, Leone. Of course, he's not, I say, old enough to start yet as a senior, but you can see there's talent there.
All right, yeah, I know what you're saying.
But look, if he wants to go, he goes.
Regarding Konate, right? Regarding Konate, look, it looks like it's leaning towards Konate probably leaving. Now, I've been consistent. Not going to be a broken record. If he wants to leave, leave. If he's not happy, leave. That's it. It's not a big issue. Mark Guay is, look, Waniak says, does Mark Guay want to be on the bench? He won't be on the bench because he will be playing, because Konate will never ever have a full season playing football. Never. When it hits them cold nights on Anfield Road, Konate does get injured. He gets muscle problems. He gets injured. Evidence is there, and that's where Mark Guay will come in. He can also be that kind of rotation player with Virgil van Dijk, because Virgil van Dijk, he won't play every single game this season. It's not going to happen, not at his age. A slot will rotate him. And I think he'll probably rotate him with Mark Guay, because Mark Guay is that kind of a leadership. He's a leader. He's like Virgil. He commands respect. He's leader. He's got leadership skills, like Virgil. So he could rotate with Virgil in cup games, in certain league games where we know we'll probably get the win on him. Virgil will not play every single game. So there's the two factors there. You got Virgil. He's not going to play the game, so Mark Guay can play there. And then you've got Konate, yeah, who will get injured. I don't want him to get injured, but it's inevitable. He will get injured. There's things in this life that's inevitable. Tax, death, and Konate getting injured. Just the way it is. So when Konate gets injured, that's when Mark Guay will come in and step in and rotate. So Mark Guay won't be on the bench. He will play. He will get games. Now, does Liverpool go for Mark Guay in January? We don't know. There's rumours that Liverpool are saying we're not going to go for him in January. We're going to go for him in on a free. But we'll see what happens. I'm back in 1 second. 1 second. Someone.
Yeah. Yeah, but the Konate situation, if people, on social media is a big part of football now, isn't it? Most likely stuff go along in social media, contracts to the live world. You can see on social media, not a lot of people, I'm not speaking for anyone by the way, but you probably might see some people saying, "No, we shouldn't get rid of the Konate and all that." Konate hasn't publicly asked he wants to leave, but you can see where this is going. There's either two things: is that Konate just wants to end his Liverpool career and run his contract down to a free to look at options, or Madrid has took him into this plan, like they did with Trent, is where a 2-year plan. Look, run down your contract, do everything you can to run down your contract, and then at the end of the free, just come straight to us. Real Madrid has either two options: that Konate just wants to join Madrid, or Real Madrid has planned it from ages ago for Konate, and just wait for him to go his contract down to a free. Can you realise Konate? I'm not accusing anyone by the way, because we don't know yet. We don't know inside, right? I'm saying it from a fan's point of view and the fan's opinion, right? With Konate, there's two options: either the plan with Madrid, or he just wants to go to Madrid in January after the free. Yeah, but this was the same thing that happened with Trent. Trent had a plan for 2 years, and the thing with Konate, he never ever extended his contract. Of all these years, he's never ever extended his contract. He never even tried to extend his contract, right? Even though he's probably winning trophies at the top of the top, Liverpool's moving into a new direction now, into a new future talent coming in, all our new signings coming in. Liverpool are reaching new heights at the football club. It seemed like Konate wants to leave. Again, he hasn't publicly said he wants to leave, but it seems like he wants to leave by not extending his contract. He wants to leave in a nice way.
He might want to pay
on Liverpool, going to newer heights, or
he might want to pay.
Exactly, the pay. Again, money is it's a beautiful thing
It's a big factor in football.
It's a big factor in football. Is that if a player wants to go to again, Real Madrid and Liverpool are arguably the biggest club in the world, and Real Madrid are arguably the biggest club in the world. My opinion, I think Liverpool is. But again, there's still an argument there. You can't just not say, Liverpool clears Madrid, right? There's an argument there. There's always an argument there.
To me, Liverpool's the best, and that's it.
To me, Liverpool's the best. But again, you're going to get people who are going to have their own opinion and disagree and start saying, Real Madrid and all that. People have mixed opinions.
Some people say Newcastle, which I think, some people say Newcastle are the biggest club, and I think they've had too many Newcastle ales. Go ahead.
Because look, it's not necessarily Konate's leaving to go to a bigger club, because in some neutral opinion, Liverpool and Madrid are the same, are like neutral level, neutral grounds in terms, history. Yeah, got it wrong. Real Madrid got good history. We've got good history as well. Yeah, so he's not necessarily leaving to go to a bigger club. We can't really say that now.
Can't set the goal, bro.
Now, if Konate was coming from South,
that's what it is, isn't it? You can't set the code, isn't it?
Yeah,
them bones can't set the code when it hits January, man.
Yeah,
that's when he gets injured. Isn't
Think of Konate. If he came from Brentford, and he went to Madrid. Now, that's a good move. That's nothing to do with it. He just wants to go to a bigger club. But now if you're leaving from Liverpool to Madrid, right, there's a problem there. It's either you just want to leave regardless, or you're not getting paid enough. Or Madrid has planned you from 1 year, 2 years ago to run down your contract and then go to Madrid. Because it's the same with Trent's situation, like I repeat myself again. But Konate, we just got to wait and see on this situation. It could be the pay. It could be full out with someone in the backstage. We don't know at the moment until everything's come out, or Konate said himself why he wanted to leave, or he said an announcement.
If I'm going to ask you now, because I want to move on to another topic here. If I'm going to ask you now, do you think that Konate is going to leave? Yes or no? Simple question. You think he's gonna leave?
I think he's gonna stay. I think he's gonna stay. Really, but again, there's different factors on why
So
he
why do
would
you think
leave.
you think he's so you think he's he wants more money?
I think he's waiting for the money. I think he's
Does
looking
anybody
at.
know the exact price
He's
in the
looking
chat
at.
room? How much
He's,
they've offered him?
he's looking at Virgil's numbers. He's looking at Salah's numbers and all that. And in my opinion, Konate done a lot for the club. He played a lot for the club, and he's done really, really well. Say what you want about Konate with his bozo moments, right? Whatever. Just whatever,
Nobody's
man.
perfect.
Yeah.
What about Virgil when Virgil had them bozo moment with Ali? Remember?
Yeah.
People have
Again,
bozo moments, man.
thing is with Virgil and Konate, Virgil is more consistent. I know. Virgil's more consistent than Konate. We all know this. But the thing is, you got to realise Konate is still like 20. He's 24. The guy's young. He's 24 years of age, and he's strong. He's fast. His physicality is absolutely amazing. His aerial duels is amazing. His pace, his on the ball ability, his intelligence to the game. At only 24 years old, still a young age, very, very young age in football. He's really, really good, right? His intelligence to the game, his physical attribute to the game, his technical ability, on the board ability is really, really good. His passing is up to scratch, right? He's got everything you need to be an ideal class defender, or world class, if arguably world class. Yeah, because Konate, the trophies that he's won, he's amazing. And what he's done with Liverpool, our Champions League winning season, Konate was a part of that. Our Premier League winning season, Konate was a part of that, right? As a starter, not as a bench player, as a starter. As a starter, helping us stay in, week out. This is what people got to start realising, what he's done, what he's played. And he started the majority of the game for us.
Yeah.
Like, the only time Konate was playing on the bench when Matip was there, it was Matip and Van Dijk at the back, right? Or maybe Gomez there. But they've gone now. Gomez is still there, but he's took a bench spot because of his injury
I'd
situation.
love Gomez if he wasn't injury prone.
I know.
We wouldn't have this problem then, because for me, I trust Gomez. When he comes on the pitch, if he's not injured, when Gomez comes on the pitch, he's so good player.
Yeah.
But what lets him down is his injuries. That's the only the problem with Konate, Gomez. Gomez is like a cheat code. You know, Gomez is like a cheat code. He can come on and you can put him in left back, right back, or centre back. He can even play CDM. I've seen him, and he's that good. But his problem is he gets injured, and it's just a problem. It is what it is, isn't it? But you think Konate is going to stay? Personally, I don't really care. You know me, Toto. When it comes to players at Liverpool, yeah. If you're not committed to the club, just go. Now, everybody knows who watches me that Konate is my favourite player for Liverpool. Just the way it is. He's my favourite player. I love the way he plays defending. I like how aggressive he is. I like how he covers. He puts his body on the line. Sometimes he does make mistakes. Of course, nobody's perfect, but he's still my favourite player, isn't it? But at the end of the day, if he doesn't want to be at the football club and if the money that they're offering him is not good enough for him, and he wants to go to Spain and play for Real Madrid, go. That's it. It's very simple. And it'd be the same if it was Virgil van Dijk, and it'd be the same if it was Mo Salah. I don't care who is at Liverpool Football Club. There's no player bigger than this football club. And if he wants to leave, and I'm not being aggressive, not being angry at him, I'm just giving you my opinion. If he doesn't want to be at the football club, then go. That's it. Done. That's it. If he's not happy here, I don't want no player at Liverpool who's not happy. That's it. I'm not going to be like the Newcastle fans and go on his Twitter and go on his Instagram and start abusing him, making personal comments in real life. They'd never do it because they don't get off the sofa. They just tweet. But for me, I'm just going to give you my opinion. I just do not. If he doesn't want to be at the football club, then he has to go. That's it. Simple. So, anybody's watching, please hit that subscribe button, like the video, and get it down the algorithm. We are streaming on Twitch and YouTube at the moment. I'm trying to get it on TikTok, but TikTok it just won't have it. They're just playing up at the moment. But we'll try and get on TikTok this week when we do the play lineup as well. I'll do it for the YouTube studio and wherever it is. So, big up to everybody who's joined us on this. Check out the chat. Big up to Scotty, man. Big up to Scotty. Welcome back, bro. Big up to you. We've been on for a while. We've just been chilling, Been doing some F1 stuff. I just can't be bothered with the international break. I don't care if England wins or loses. Don't care. Don't care about international break. Obviously, when the World Cup starts and the Euro starts, I'm interested. Then I don't want to see qualifying. I don't care. Just don't want to see. Don't want to see big egos all in one team think they're better than everybody else. Who's not interested. You get me? Exactly. They should be honored to play for the club. Yeah. That's it. And if you don't want to be at the club, just go. And I'm not being angry to Konate. No way. He's my favorite player for Liverpool. But again, if he doesn't want to be here, if he's not happy, then go to Real Madrid. That's it. So let's move on to the next topic. This topic is about David Cutie. Who remembers David Cutie, the referee? David Cutie. This is a guy that said he hates Scousers, that he hates Klopp because he was German. You remember them ones? Remember that one when he got suspended, Toto?
Yeah.
News came in today. Yeah, this is coming in today. This is all over the news, by the way. So that former Premier League referee David Cutie has been charged with making an indecent video of a child. Okay. The 43-year-old ex-Premier League official will appear at Nottingham Magistrate Court on Thursday for a first hearing in relation to the charge. Cutie has been charged that he has made one incident. No, he said, so basically he said it. Cutie has been charged that he has made one indecent video of a child in the category A on January the 2nd, 2020. Category A is the most serious category and typically shows young children being, and you can tell the rest. So this is a serious charge. I'm not sure if he's not been found guilty yet. He's been charged, so I'm not going to come here and make assumptions that he has done it. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying what I'm reading off an article. So he has to appear at Magistrates Court in Nottingham, and this is category A, a very serious charge, indecent photos of child. So what's your thoughts on this? Don't say that he's guilty enough, because we're not saying that in the channel, because I'm not getting sued. We're just basically, I'm going to put the article up on the screen so you can see where I'm reading it off. And this is all over the news, by the way. So this is the article, Toto. So this is the referee that doesn't like Klopp. And this was the guy that said, you know, it is what it is. So this is the article that I'm bringing up. What's your thoughts on this, Toto? I don't know if he's guilty or not, because I don't know. He has to go to magistrate court, and it says category A. That means that's a very important higher tier of charge that he's doing. So ex-Premier League referee David Coote charged with making indecent videos of children. So what's your thoughts on this, Toto? Briefly, I don't really want to go on it that long. I just want to report it.
Look, in my opinion about this David Coote thing, again, I don't really want to really talk about it, really. But again, it's in our front. It's in front of our eyes, you know, and we just got to face the fire. Look, it is what it is. He's been charged. He's not been found guilty yet, so I'm not really gonna comment on it. But
exactly,
if he does get found guilty,
I don't know.
That's if he does. We don't know. He is a wrong-un. That's just the way it is.
No, I'm not, yeah. He's a wrong-un anyway. For me, he's a wrong-un anyway. After what he said about the Scousers, that he don't like Scousers, don't like Germans. So for that, he's a wrong-un for that. But for this charge, I don't know if he's done it or not. But if he has done it, it's very serious, very serious. And you got to think about how far does it go back. You get me? We don't know what's going back. But that's the thing what's coming up at the moment. So it is what it is. That's David Coote, and we'll see what happens when it comes to when he has to go court, isn't it? So everybody smash that like button. We're gonna move on to the next topic in a minute. It's gonna be Isak. I'm gonna bring this up in a minute. Oh yeah, let's talk about this guy, Geordie Josh. I'm gonna talk about this guy, Geordie Josh. Right, let's bring this up. Geordie Josh. Now, this tweet kind of caught my eye. You get me? I just had to respond to him. We know he's never going to respond back, but it is what it is. So, Geordie Josh, you can see by the name Geordie. He's a Newcastle fan. So he tweets, Johan Wissa had no preseason, and still managed 2 goals, 1 assist. Dr. Congo this international break. A total of 134 minutes were played for our striker. Look, our striker, oh la la, who now returns to Newcastle. So, the Newcastle fans are still. Can you mute your mic, please, bro? The Newcastle fans are still on Isak. Can't let him go. And the thing about it, this topic regarding Isak and Wizza, Johan Wizza done the same thing that Isak has done. He pushed for a move, he wanted to leave, and that's it. But now the Newcastle fans are lauding their player, and he's saying, this is what I'm going to try and go back what I said. Let me just bring this. Let me just go back if I can find it. 1 second. Let me just go back, see if I can find it where I responded to him. 1 second. There we go. I responded to him here. This is what I said. See if my here we go. This is me. I responded to this guy. Okay, this is what I said. This is me. Keep it sports. You want to follow me on X? It's all there. So, Johan Wissa returned to his first team training following constructive talks after he had originally decided to leave Brentford's pre-season base. So basically, he's basically saying that he had no pre-season. He said that.
One second.
He said that he had no pre-season, right, Wizza? He said he had no pre-season, which he did. That's a lie. He did have a pre-season. He actually left his pre-season to leave Brentford. He was actually training with the team, so that's the difference. Isak didn't train with the team. Isak never. That's the difference. Isak did not train with the team. He did. So he says basically, Johan Wissa had no preseason, which is a lie. So I responded to him. Johan Wissa returned to first team training following constructive talks after he had originally decided to leave Brentford's preseason base. And I said, but you're okay with this then? So he did have some preseasons. And I said, still bitter. I see it's like an ex-girlfriend. You can't let it go. And that's all I said. And I think my tweet was nothing wrong with my tweet. I thought I responded it in a normal way. So basically, this guy, Geordie, just kept saying, oh, no. He's had no preseason. Wizza, he did have preseason. He was training with the team. It wasn't like Isak at his house, exiled from the team. Now, I kept saying about this Isak situation. I said, we don't know the real truth. I said, one day the truth is going to come out and all the media, all the mainstream media are going to own this guy an apology. Okay? They're going to own an apology because I said, us as YouTubers and people like the mainstream media, they don't really know exactly what happened. People like Craig Hope and all them man, the ones that reporting and say Isak's not this guy. We don't know what's going on. I think the Newcastle media has made this situation worse. I think the Newcastle media and the mainstream media has caused the abuse, has kind of contributed this abuse towards Isak. There's so many people now that are still abusing Isak. Isak said something the other day and said, look, people don't know the truth. It's football. We know how it goes with the fans when you leave a club. But for me, I think one day the truth is going to come out and people are going to owe this guy an apology. Now, everybody said he refused to train. How do we know that Isak refused to train? How do we know this? I said, how do we know? I'm not saying he didn't, but how do we know that the team said to him, you are not training? We don't want you at the club. We don't want you training with the team if you're not committed to the football club. How do we know that Newcastle, the representative, the training, Eddie Howie said you are not training with our team because you're bringing toxic negativity towards the team? How do we know that? We're just knowing what the media says and the Newcastle journalists said and the mainstream media are saying. Nobody knows that he refused to train. I have not heard Isak say that he has refused to train. I have not heard this. That Isak said he has refused to. All I've heard is of the Newcastle journalists and the mainstream media. I haven't heard Isak say that he's refused to train. This is what I'm talking, the point I'm trying to make. people put news out there, and I know during the transfer window, it is big for the YouTubers. It's big for the mainstream media. It is big for the irrelevant Newcastle journalists like Craig No Hope. We know this. We know it's a big thing, but at the end of the day, saying, look, if you want to criticize Isak that, why is he leaving our club? I get it. That's your prerogative. That is your right as a consumer, as a fan. If you want to criticize Isak and say, why are you leaving our club? It's not fair. I want you to stay at our club. You're a sellout. I understand. But to come out and say that Isak refuses to train when you haven't heard that from the horse's mouth is wrong. All that's doing is stoking hate among the people online abusing him. Now, I do not know if he refuses to train, but Isak has come out on the record and said, look, there's a lot of stuff that's been reported about me that wasn't true. And one day, the story will come out, what really happened. Now, if he refuses to train, if Isak said, right, I refuse to train, okay, refuse to train. But we don't know. We do not know. And for people saying, oh yeah, Newcastle fans, not just this guy, there's loads of them all over online. You can't let it go. They can't just let Isak go. They're saying we don't need him, but the next minute they're tweeting and saying, oh, why are you leaving us, and abusing him. If you don't care, why are you sending messages online abusing the guy? If you don't care, why don't you just move on? Just like when Trent left out, so what? See you later, bye-bye. And if Konate leaves, I'll go see you later, bye-bye. I will say the same thing, but to come out and abuse the guy, and then one day you're saying you don't care if he leaves, and the next day you're saying, oh, why are you leaving, and you're abusing him. Obviously you care. But my point I'm trying to make is, do not put news out there and say he refused to train if we don't know the facts. Because like I said, Isak has said yesterday, he said, there's a lot of stuff what's coming out and it didn't happen. There's a lot of stuff for these news that got reported during the summer that didn't happen. Now, one day when the news does come out, remember what I said? One day when this news comes out, yeah, remember what I said? Don't print stuff if you don't know the facts. That's all I'm saying.
Look,
yeah,
I think it's out of order on what the Newcastle fans are doing to this day. The violence that's been put on him, the grudges that's been put against him from the Newcastle fans. It's been unbelievable. I just think that the guy's a human being, right? He's got a family and that, and you're threatening him like this, and their own Newcastle legend, Alan Shearer, right, is still going at it and stoking to the fire. Yeah. I think social media is a big thing in football now. Big thing in football. It can conduct anything. It can stoke anything to the fire. It can even go on live TV news, right, of all this Isak situation, news, rumours. It all comes from social media. That's where probably most of the journalists get their news from, or whoever, Twitter. They all get their news from social media.
Yeah, but I want to know where no, I know what you're saying, but where is this facts? Where's this facts, yeah, that he's refused to train?
Exactly. You know, there's so much.
Simple question. You got all these Newcastle journalists and these so-called media that they're all disappeared now because we know who they are. With these so-called journalists, they've all disappeared because they know that the transfer's over. And when January surfaces, yeah, people are going to pay for their services to come on their channel to chat crap. Yeah, because that's all it is. A lot of these journalists what reported over the summer, I monitored every single one of them, and at least 80% of them chat crap. All they do is feed off other people's news and put it out there to get paid on X. Very simple. And people actually pay for them to come on their channel. Yeah. People actually pay to come on their channel to try and make their channel look more legit. You get me? And even though they're paying them, even though deep down they might think, yeah, what they're saying is not 100% true, they don't care. They want them on the channel because it makes their channel look good. And I get it. That's the business that we're in. That's the game that we're in, YouTube. I get it. But don't come out and say that he's refused to train if you don't know the facts. Because I have not heard Isak say that he's refused to train. You get me? I have not heard him say that once, that he refused to train. That's what the media were saying. That's what the media were saying. You know what? I didn't even hear the main, the people who know about stuff say that. You get me? They just say, reported, he supposedly, that there's reports saying Isak's refused to train.
And what I don't like is this narrative from this big Swedish creator on Twitter.
Geek.
A big account, right? Oh, if we do any bad for Sweden in the World Cup, it's all going to be down to Isak. Let's put all the hate towards Isak. And you should have saw the comments. Absolutely vile. What's happening to Isak saying, he would rather go for be a money grabber than training. End of the day, he was training, but by himself. Yeah.
You know about this guy?
Yeah, absolutely unbelievable. Unbelievable, this guy. If you fail to qualify, do anything bad to earn more money.
Who's paid him to say that?
It's not the fact to earn more money. It's lies. It's just pure lies. He's leaving Newcastle to go to a bigger club. He's leaving Newcastle, to get a bigger bag, but that's besides the point. Yeah, of course, the money is a part of it, but there's much more to things than money in this kind of contract situation. Like, he's going from a small club to a bigger club.
He's gone from a very, 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 very small club to a big club.
That's the difference between other going from a small to a big club. Football's a pecking order. I've always said this. It's small to a big club. Newcastle is one of the small clubs. We're one of the big club that nearly every player wants to go to, right? Yeah. You give any player from Brentford, Southampton, whatever, a chance to go to Liverpool. Signing up. Don't care if I'm benched. Exactly. Reserves. I want to come to Liverpool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know who's
Isak wants to go to.
Nah, Aston Villa's bigger than Newcastle as well.
Exactly. So look,
100%. 100%.
Isak wants to go win more trophies in his career. He wants to establish himself as a player. He's not just being a money grabber. This is where the delusion kicks in. The lies kicks in. He's not just going there for the money. This is what people, besides the point, he's going there to a big club to win more trophies.
Yeah.
To succeed in his career, right?
Yeah.
And make himself an icon, right? That's all it is, to make himself an icon. So there's a speculation as well.
Listen, just what Scotty said. He was told to train later in the day after 13 finished, and he still turned up for training ground and train. Exactly. Now, this is what I'm trying to say. See, that's kind of what I was saying. They said the media, day in and day out, to fight it out. I'm not going to name the mainstream media, but you know who it is. The mainstream media, the big platforms, every single day was firing out, Isak's out of order. How can Isak do that? He's refused to train with the team, this and that. But there was no facts. There was no evidence that he refused to train with the team. That's all I'm saying, you get me? There was no facts or evidence. He saw the same journalists and the same media say, there's reports, not facts, not directly from Newcastle, not directly from Isak. Reports. There's rumors. That's what came up. Reports and rumors. There was reports and rumors that Isak refused to train with the team, and I kept saying, okay, where's your facts? Where's your evidence? I can't see this. I can't see Eddie Howe saying it. I can't see Isak saying it. Where does it say that he refused to train with the team? This is what I'm saying. There was this big agenda against Isak, that he was a bad guy. And Wizard, he got away with it. You get me? Wizard done the same thing what Isak done. He done the same thing. He refused to train with the team. He was training. He literally was on pre-season training with the team. And he goes, you know what? I don't want to start your dusty club. I'm gone. I want to go Newcastle. Left his training ground, took everything off his social media and said, you know what? I'm refusing to train. Allow this, I'm going. And what happened? Nobody said nothing really. It was all about Isak. Isak's his bad person. And even though Isak didn't say one word, he didn't say one word, and he saw this crap happen online. And then Isak came out and said, you know what? They promised me this and that. I gave them notification before the end of the season. At the end of the season, I'm going to be gone. At least he gave them notification. Wizard just said, I'm gone. I'm going. And it all went this. But you know what? You know what the press said? As soon as that news come out, they said, oh, at the end of the day, this and that, this and that, this and that. They done a hit job. They done a hit job on Isak. The media and the Newcastle, the journalists, done a hit job on Isak. They made Isak out to be this bad guy. And the thing about footballers who know him, yeah, footballers that know him say he's a nice guy. He don't say a bad word about nobody. And guess what happened when he came to Liverpool? Guess what happened? Who texted him and gave it and said congratulations? Dan Burn. Dan Burn, his teammate, the Newcastle captain, said congratulations for going to Liverpool. There you go. Perfect example. Ex-players saying, you know what? Congratulations for going to getting that move to Liverpool. It's funny that, isn't it? It's funny that his teammate Dan Burn said congratulations and texted him saying, you know what? Congratulations for getting that move to Liverpool. And that's all I want to say, man. That's all I want to say. I'm gonna let you talk now. I just want to put a stop to this now. People just need to just let it go, yeah, and stop making up crap. I know it's gonna continue. Don't matter what I say. I'm a small channel. Nobody cares what I say, but I say it anyway because I'm stubborn. At the end of the day, yeah, he wanted to move football clubs, and because he wanted to move football clubs, the media put a hit job on him. Very simple. Everything they said, there weren't factual evidence to it. Have you noticed, Toto? There was no factual evidence. There was no factual evidence after what he said. You're right, Toto.
Yeah. There's nothing to do. There's nothing to do. It's just a bunch of lies from the media, and especially all the mainstream media. You see it a lot from the mainstream media. The agenda's putting against Isak regarding the situation. End of the day, he's gone to a bigger club. He's pursued his dreams. He's going to win a lot of trophies of us. And I hate to see it because, look, the guy technically gifted. Isak technically gifted. He had everything you ask for a striker. On-ball ability, finishing ability, pace, technicality on the ball. He can manipulate angles. That's what you want from a technical striker. You got two different types of striker. You got a poacher and you got a technical striker. Isak's one of those that's very, very technical. Really, really good with his feet. It's good. It's really, very beautiful to see.
But the hit job on him, the media.
Yeah, it's out of order.
There was no evidence, though.
It was out of order, right? And we all know this spouting lies. Everyone with a common sense know that.
But there was no evidence. This is what pisses me off. There was no evidence, Toto, that he refused to train with the team. There was no evidence. It's just that's what the media was saying. Where was the evidence that he said that he refused to train with the team? There was no evidence. He was training his own. There was no. Yeah, but no. What I'm saying is, they were saying that Isak refused to train with the team, and I always said on this channel, how do you know this? How do you know that it was Newcastle that said we don't want you training with us because all the negativity? You get me? Because you remember when Eddie Howe come out and said before in the media, my job is to get the team training, to get the negative energy away from the team. That's what he said at the beginning, isn't it? He said that I want to get the team training and get their head focused for the rest of the season. Not even Eddie Howe said it. Not even Eddie Howe said it. Refused to train. I never heard Eddie Howe say that. That's what the media was saying. That's what the media was saying. The media was saying that he refused to train.
Again, they're speaking from fans' point of views. No, we've always got point of views. We've always got opinions on this. But everything, end of the day, that everyone has said about Isak, the false lies about Isak is all opinions. They are all predictions and opinions. They're never fact.
Yeah.
Right? We're never going to know when it comes from the horse's mouth.
I think it's going to come out eventually.
Right? The only one that was consistent about this was Indy Kala and Ivan on Twitter.
Big up to them too.
Consistent by the quotes, they were consistent what Isak was doing. There was consistent of where Isak was flying. Right, they're very, very good journalists.
Very good.
And again, they were mentioned on Sky Sports as well. So big up to IndyCar and all that.
Yeah, but they were forced to mention him. The thing about it, the future of news is YouTube anyway.
Yeah.
Let's just face it, the future of news is YouTube, in my opinion, and that's how I look at it. I'm not saying all the other outlets are not big, but I think we're coming up. The YouTube is coming up, man. And that's it. That's all I got to say, man. For that. So that's it. So that's the end of the video. So just a lesson to learn from this. I know it's never going to change. Still going to get people reporting stuff, but at the end of the day, don't report nothing if you don't know the facts. Because I'm just going to Google it now. I'm going to say, who said that? Go on. I'm gonna Google it.
But yeah, everyone in the chat room, man, make sure you hit the likes, subscribe button. We've got 10 people in here. We've got 7 likes. Let's try to get that to 15 by end of the video. That'd be really appreciated. If not, feel free to watch it back. And again, don't have to watch the whole video. I don't expect you to watch our video. But if you want to watch our video of us talking, knowledgeable stuff about football, fair enough. Go check us out. This channel, Keep It Sports. We really appreciate it, everyone. Yeah, big up Sky for getting involved in the chat room as well.
Perfect. Yeah, got a perfect example. Look at this. This is a quote. This is directly from Eddie Howe, right? I'm going to read it out. And this just solidifies my point, what I just said. This just proves my point. This is straight from Eddie Howe, by the way, Toto. It's from Eddie Howe from the Newcastle website directly. If you don't believe me, people can go on the internet and type in Newcastle, go on the website and look at the report notes, right? Let me just copy and paste this. I'm not going to copy them. Actually, I'm going to put it up. Right. Okay. Let me just copy and paste this on my notes so I can read it out to you. Okay. This just proves my point, exactly what I just said. Everything what I just said. Right. Now, this is what Eddie Howe says. Right. Newcastle United manager Eddie Howe said he could no longer involve Alexander Isak with the first team squad, indicating that Isak was unable to earn the right to train. There you go. There you go. When everybody was saying that Isak, everyone was saying that Isak refused to train, I come out here and I said, how do you know that Isak refuses to train? Eddie Howe says, Newcastle manager Eddie Howe said that he could no longer involve Alexander Isak with the first team squad, indicating that Isak was unable to earn the right to train. He said Isak was unable to earn the right to train with the team. Okay, so the group duo to focus on potential move away from the club. Howe denied making promises of a transfer to Isak, starting the striker must act correctly to be part of the team. So Eddie Howe says he will not train with the first team, and for him to train with the first team, he has to act correctly. There you go. And it also says correctly to be part of the team. And the situation is largely out of Eddie Howe's control. There you go. Perfect example. I'll just put up on the screen just right there. There you go. Right there. Exactly what happened right there. Eddie Howe.
Can't lie with nowadays, can you?
There you go. Can't lie. There you go. And that just proves my point, exactly what I've been talking about. Let me just bring it up so I can make the thingy bigger. All right, let me just make it bigger so I can zoom it up, okay? I'm going to zoom this up. There. Right there. Newcastle United manager Eddie Howe said he could no longer involve Alexander Isak with the first team squad, indicating that Isak was unable to earn the right, remember in quotes, earn the right to train with the group due to his focus on a potential move away from the club. Howe denied making promises of a transfer to Isak, stating the striker must act correctly to be part of the team, and the situation is largely out of Howe's control. There you go. What more proof do we need? What more proof do we need? Where does it say in that article, Toto? Where does it say there that Isak refuses to train? Can you see anything there?
No, never.
There you go. That's enough said. Enough said. Exactly. But the media kept putting hit jobs out on him and saying Isak refuses to train. He's staying in his hotel. Him and his agent are plotting to leave. He refuses to train with the team. Why would he refuse to train with the team? Why would he refuse to train with his friends? If that was the case, just what my man said in the chat room. Look what he said in the chat room. He was told to train later in the day after the first team finished, and he still turned up to train. So he refuses to train. Why was he coming up and training separately? You know why he was training separately, in my opinion? Because they did not want him to train with the team. Because he said in the press conference, Eddie Howe says, I don't want no negativity around the team. My job is to get the team ready for the preseason and for the Premier League to start. Very simple. And this is why when he left, and Dan Burns, yeah, the captain of Newcastle, texted him and says, congratulations on the move to Liverpool. Done. Very simple. So I'm heading off now. Big up to everybody. We'll be back tomorrow. We're doing a playing up for who we're playing. Is it this week? Is it Brentford?
I'll check now.
We got to go. I know we got a game this week. It's going to be on a Sunday. Yeah, it's going to be on a Sunday. We're playing on Sunday.
Burnley.
Also, we got Burnley this week on Sunday, and we will be doing a play line up tomorrow. So look out for that tomorrow on the channel. We're doing the play line. If not tomorrow, yeah, probably going to be in a day though. So I know you got your carting in the evening, innit? So it's going to be about 2 o'clock. We're going to do the play line up. So that's us heading off, man. Anything to say, Toto, before you go?
I don't know if I'll say. Thank everyone for joining in, whoever joined in. And thank you, Scotty, for leaving your comments, and 1AK for leaving your comment down Badro as well. So thank you, everyone, for coming in. So
big up to Scotty, big up to Badro, big up to Waniak, big up to everybody. See you later, guys. Headed off. We're going to do our thing now. See you later. Big up. One more before we go.
Anislot is my daddy. He spanks me every time I manage against him. He literally picked me up, put me upside down, and spanked me. No Diddy. And
there you go. See you later, guys. Bye.